This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, hi, welcome to this meeting or slash webinar. I'll go through a brief usage of various tools, and then you can ask me questions, whatever questions or doubts you have. So I'll clarify. So here's how we'll do it. I'll go through the basic usage, then you can, if you have questions, you can interrupt me at any time, and you can ask me the questions if they are pertaining to that particular tool that I'm talking about. Or you can post it in the chat box. We can go through that later, or once the usage is done, you can ask your questions if it is something else. So let me start off. Most of the tools I have already gone through brief usage in our video 1, which is there on the help menu here in the introduction. So we'll go through whatever new tools are there. I'll just go through that, and I'll probably explain a little bit more about that. So I think we had gone through this here. Futures OI scan also had gone through it. Let me take this one. Okay, this futures OI breakup tool, it gives you a breakup of how the OI is changing from starting in the morning and throughout the day. So the main thing to look for is, like, the first thing would be, can everybody please mute yourself? Just a minute. Let me see if I can do it. Yes, give me a minute. Yeah, background sound. Let me see what I can do. There's a lot of noise here, definitely. Yeah. So the key thing to look for in this tool would be where the futures price is with respect to VWAP. That would be the main thing, because fine, OI analysis, volume and all that is there, but the key thing would be where is price, because you're going to trade on price. So price would be the first thing to look for, and only then you would look at what is exactly happening, whether it's long build-up or short build-up, or what is happening. And next thing would be to obviously look at the OI change that is happening. So, and here to begin with, initially we started off below VWAP, and this is when actually this price is at 9:30 basically. At 9:30, this is the price. So 15 minutes after market starts, we are being below VWAP, but and of course the Y is positive, but the change is plus here. So that since open, it has traded up from 9:15 to 9:30. It has traded up, but it is still below VWAP, and Y change is up. So it is basically long build up. So it is positive at the moment, but it is trading below VWAP. So you still need to wait. Now once it changes, like here over here, it is still below VWAP. change is still up. It is actually higher since market open. But here it is indicating short buildup because it has come down a little bit. Now this important thing to look at here is that how significant this is, this short buildup is. Over here it is not, because it's only 45%, 45,000 quantity has changed, whereas in the morning since open, a lot more was added during long buildup. So this is not too significant. This is how I would start analyzing. And again, always keep an eye on this, because this where prices with respect to VWAP, that should carry the most importance. Here would be the first place where we would think this is more positive, since it's long build-up and it has gone above VWAP for the first time since market open. So this would be, from here, probably you would think buy. And here, actually, you would be thinking of selling. This particular red is actually, this is below VWAP, and this has hit a new day low. But as I said, the short buildup is not, I mean, the OI is not saying that it is really a great short at this point, as because the OI change is very less. So one would be cautious, and one would not just see that it is at day low. It has hit a day low after 45 minutes after market open, and that maybe it's a good sell or so. No, it is not, because OI is not supporting. So just keep an overview. I mean, this 2-3 things have to be looked at before you can take a decision. But I'm not saying that this you can directly take a trading decision, but this is the way I would go about analyzing it. So at this place, like price is above VWAP, long buildup is there. Now, of course, here the OI change is very less, but then since it was the main trend of OI was positive to begin with from the start, so then I would be more positive here, because you here over here, it's all long. It started with strong long buildup, and now finally it has moved above VWAP. So this I would take this up move. I would take a little bit seriously at this point, but and this basically this down move is not that serious at this point. This is how I would go about analyzing. But as I said again, this it is, see, as you see, this is jumping all over the place. The buildup is jumping all over the place. So this would be, and I'm not sure if this would be a good tool to straight away take entries. But yes, you can do your initial analysis over here. And a better starting point would be the tool that we had released over here. Let me go to it here itself. Now here, a lot more clarity would be there. Over there, we were going towards a positive. But here, from the beginning itself, it is indicating negative, but with over here, if you see, a lot more long side OI is getting added. So it is not clear cut basically, but I would stick with this particular column, the P to C OI change, the difference between P and C OI change. This would be the first thing I would look at, and very important to not go too much against this. I mean, fine, if there is a reversal coming and then you are taking a look at that, it is fine, but most of the time try to stay in line with this column. This is the total difference of OI is not that important, but the change, the diff of PEC OI change is a lot more important, and I would definitely focus more on this. This along with this last column, the OI change. Basically, this is just the difference of this and this is this value. Difference of this and this is this value. It's basically. But if you look at this now, this is all negative, and this is now at a strong positive OI is getting added. So this basically this downtrend is weakening, and then here it changes to positive. So this weakening, you will know it before itself, and then this will change. Again over here it's still showing as positive, but here it has started to weaken over here. So this OI change trend, just keep an eye. I mean, no actionable signals may be there over here, but it is important to see, I mean, if it's weakening, if steadily, if it's weakening or strengthening, you would be able to gauge using this particular column. But as I said again, stay in line with this. This was about this. Let me quickly, briefly go through IVR IVP scan. This is mostly for positioning of trades, like especially positional trades. Usually it is suggested that where IV is in relation to historical volatility. So implied volatility, where it is with respect to historical volatility is how option trades are positioned. So you can do a quick scan over here and see, I mean, based on IVR, IVP also, that also is there. Basically, you would probably sort it over here, and whichever is higher than say 50%, in those cases, the IV is really high compared to HV. That is what I would determine. And again, IVP also has to be above say 60, 50 or 60. Higher the better, when this is higher. Similarly, if you go so selling or option selling trades are taken when this is the case. IVR is above 50 and IVP also is on the higher side, above 50, 60, 70, whatever. And debit based, like vertical spreads, you're buying vertical spreads, you're going for option, direct option buying. You do that when your IVR is very low. So if IVR is low, and again, IVP also has to be low. I mean, you wouldn't see this. I mean, if this is very low, IVR is very low. So IV is on the lower side compared to historical volatility, but IVP is on the higher side. So this you would ignore this. Something like this would be better, where both IVR and IVP are low. So this indicates that the IV is currently on the lower side. So option buying trades or debit side trades are more preferred. So this is mainly IVR. The scan is mainly used for that positioning of positional trades. Which side, whether you want to do option selling trades or you want to do debit side trades, debit trades like verticals, buying verticals, or buying calendars or diagonals. When the IVR IVP are low, you would go for, there would be expectation of volatility going up from there. So you would go for either debit spreads or calendars or diagonals. So if volatility explodes from there, then you won't have to do, even if price doesn't move and just volatility explodes, then these trades would come into favor. I mean, they'll straight away go into profit, even if price is still sideways. That's about IVR IVP scan. So this is done. Yeah, so let me take one thing. Yeah, first thing in the morning for intraday trading, this would be, of course, one of the tools you would keep open. The other I would suggest is cumulative OI change. With all strikes. Okay, over here, there is one thing I need to tell. Total PEC diff tool, make sure you are using all strikes initially, unless you're very experienced and I may not tell you what to do. But generally, just go for all strikes, because what is going to happen is near ATM strikes, and especially this one, you have to be very careful. Ideally, just uncheck this if you go for near ATM strikes. Again, near ATM strikes, if there is a large move, then this would jump all over the place. The diff would for OI change would jump all over the place. So ideally, to begin with, just stick to all strikes unless you know what you're doing. You can increase this a little bit, and then maybe you would get some reliable analysis, but still it would jump all over the place and confuse you. Just stick to all strikes and be in line with this. This I would strongly suggest. Here, if you see, this total PEC diff tool was suggesting, again, I've selected all strikes over here. PEC tool was suggesting overall negative, but this OI change trend is fluctuating significantly. So here, if you see, it is clear that on the whole, if you see, the whole day was mostly sideways to downward bias. So the whole bias was downward. That is what this was indicating. For all strikes, if you see the call OI change is continuously higher throughout the day and put is lower. So this is mostly bearish, but it is flat to, this indicates it's flat to down, basically. So this is the second tool that I suggest you should keep open in the morning. The other key thing that I look for is I just turn this off, turn PCR trend off. Here in this case, since the trend is not clear, this also is not, this trend is not clear, but whatever trades you can take, you can rely on this trend of this blue line, which is the PCR. If you see for Bank Nifty, it would clearly tell you. In this case, it would seem that it is bullish as the puts are higher, but just turn this off, turn this. Initially in the morning trend, the PCR trend was higher, so over this part was bullish. Then as I have posted multiple screenshots also with this analysis. Basically, once this PCR trend turns down, it's basically very important to be on the selling side itself or buying puts or whatever, because the trend bias changes at this point. When this breaks down over here, and from here it's now down. These flat areas are important, as I had said in few posts that I had posted in the groups. These flat areas is where this is indecision points. So from here, this can now, the trend can reverse to upside after being down from here, or it can continue its downtrend. So here, this would be key. When this breaks down, price also breaks down from here, and it is down all the way. So keep checking this also, because if you see these two, obviously it is not clear. I mean, over here it looks like, I mean, what would you do? You would continue. Now it shows over here itself. It shows bullish. Of course, this is fast catching up. This is fast catching up. That would be clear if you look at the diff also, because this diff line is the difference between these two lines. So here it has gone up, then flattened, and then heading down. But you can either go with this diff, or if you want more clarity, you can just turn this off, just turn PCR. Once this turns and starts to goes down, then that's it. You have to make sure that you are on, if whatever long trades that you have, your bought calls and all that, then either spread it off, sell a call, more OTM, and make it a spread, vertical spread, to see if it continues down, or then you go for a buying puts or put spread, or whatever, selling calls or whatever, based on what kind of trading you do. So this is one more key thing that I always keep open. This is always open in the morning. And again, this along with this, if you see, let me check this also. This, that is also the reason why I keep this also open. Nothing is clear here. Nothing is clear. Here it shows as totally bullish, as it showed for calls and puts. So basically, OI is indicating it is bullish. But the thing is, this OI had really shot up significantly in the morning. That's the reason why all these signals are delayed. Even these signals are delayed. You see, weakening is there. This over here, lot of weakening is there, and that weakening is actually this over here. It has weakened, but it is clear only when you look at the PCR trend. So have this open. Even if you're looking at this, make sure you have this open with PCR turned on, so you get clearer signals. So I rely on this a lot. For me, this is very important. Again, here I don't really look at near ATM selected strikes. You can look. I used to look. If you one thing you can do is, for example, if you're looking at selected strikes, then make sure first thing in the morning, if where is Bank Nifty opening around futures at 9:30 it has 36.1. So if you are using selected strides, then you can probably keep, you can be at 36.1, around 36.1, whatever is there, you can open it. This is one way. This would give some idea, but still this is not clear according to me. I mean, fine, this has turned over here. Diff would again give you clear indications, but I would, sorry. Just a minute. Let me close this. Yeah, I would say, see this, you can stay near the market, wherever market is trading, you can have strikes surrounding it to get a faster picture. But you'll have to then keep adjusting, or you can go for near ATM strikes. But I would suggest keeping it clear, just turn PCR trend on, or turn diff. Either use diff or PCR trend, just use something consistently. You can just keep it this way to keep it simple also. So along with this, always use this. As you see, this is just not clear. This is not clear. It's telling you it's bullish. Of course, here, of course, there's no trade, because see here, even if you had gone long somewhere here, you had initiated verticals or whatever. But here, then it has gone below VWAP. So this, it is not supporting, and it's in conflict. Y is telling you one thing, price is telling you something else. Here you come here and here, sorry. What did I do? Okay, sorry, can you see the screen? I hope you can see the screen.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, so as I was saying here, yeah, OI is telling you something and price is telling you other things. So just keep this in mind. So this also, use it together. So don't just stick to one tool, just have something else also. This is other thing. And actually taking the trades, you can go for price to OI. This is where you could, one of the ways of taking a trade is this. Say around. You just take this as an example. This was near the money in the morning. One of the ways of taking a trade is either you may be a buyer or a seller. Here. Let me turn this off for the moment. This is PCR trend here for 36,000 call input. This is the PCR here. Price has to be above VWAP, obviously. Once it, even let me ignore this because this shot up in the morning. Next, when you're looking for a trade over here, price goes below VWAP, PCR trend also turns down. Both price has gone below VWAP and PCR trend has turned down. This is the first indication probably that you could short this call. You short this and then probably have a stop over here, or if you go just above VWAP, then you would get stopped out here. Then again, you see this PCR trend is still going down over here. Again, this would be a second entry over here with a stop above VWAP or above over this near this swing high over here, based on whatever your risk parameters. So this would be a basic way to enter. Exit would be determined by you have a target, or because if you don't wait again for the PCR trend to turn up and all that, because it could be too late. For the put again, it would be same. It would be exactly opposite this. PCR trend has to turn down. If it goes down, then you would buy a put or sell a call over here. Where this would be stopped out and this would be a second entry over here. Again, exits would be based on targets basically. So this is a basic way to enter entries. You could use this tool for entries. But your initial analysis again has to be based on, you first decide on the trend and then go for actual entries. Another way to determine trend that I forgot to mention is the option chain. This trend over here, and not many use it, but in the morning near ATM, whatever this near the ATM, 2-3 strikes, just take 2 or 3 strikes near the ATM in and around above and below. If these 3 are indicating bullish on both sides is important. One side you cannot take, if one side is bullish, then you can't say that I'll go for call buy or whatever. No, both sides have to be bullish. Then there is a good chance that the trend is bullish, and then you can go either for selling the puts or buying a call. So if one side is bullish and the other side is bearish, then avoid. Then it's basically a sideways. You can go for a strangle or straddle, selling a short straddle, short strangle or whatever. But both sides indicating bullish or both sides indicating bearish, then just sit up and take a look and analyze further, because then the trend is strongly indicated as either bearish or bullish. This is another tool you can, have 2 or 3. Just keep cross-checking. Keep all those 3 open: cumulative OI change, total CEP, diff, and option change. Just scan everything. Just keep and start scanning from morning, and just so it'll just increase the confidence, level of confidence. That's what I think. Next. OI snapshot, OI breakup is again similar. Quickly go through OI snapshot. This is currently the only place where we are showing a IV line. So this tool, you can, if you quickly want to take a look at what is happening with the IVs, you can take a look at this tool. You can keep this open. So we are coming up with a tool. It's in the process. We are building it where you can just select any. You can select the futures, and then we'll show average IV. This is basically if you can look at IVs of individual options. So if you want to take a look at just say Bank Nifty versus IV and PCR, then we would show that, and also below the chart we would show OI also. So whatever we can add, we are creating that tool. So monitoring IV would be a lot more easier in that tool. But for now, if you want to take a look, then you can just use this. Use this particular tool for viewing IVs, what is happening with IVs. Just a minute, there was some question somebody asked about. What was that? Just give me 1 minute. Can you show the future screen? We have a top change futures. Shows in. Yeah, entries. Somebody asked about entry. Entry, as I said, I have explained price to OI. That is one. We will. Yeah, it is definitely. This one is definitely subjective. So if you want precise, then we will go to straddle strangles. You can just I mean, yeah, this, as far as this is concerned, it is basically subjective. You first have to decide on the trend over here. And yeah, this is still, as I say, it is going to be subjective, definitely. Because here, as I say, you have to once the trend OI, the PCR trend is turning up, it is going up, then as call price moves above VWAP, you can buy and place a stop below the nearest swing low of the price. That's it. That's the entry. Exit at. So you have to be very fast in this. This is call buying or call selling that I'm talking about. You have to just enter and exit. For buyers, it is a lot more critical. You just have to, whatever points you can grab, you can just grab and exit. So this is going to be pretty fast, and you have to just enter over here. This trend, blue line is positive, it is going up. That is the PCR trend is going up. So basically, a lot more put writers are there. So it is bullish. So you just buy above VWAP. Just put a stop a little bit below swing low, and that's it. Whatever points you can grab, you grab. You don't want to wait for this to go, for this PCR line to go and turn down, because then by the time it turns, the price is down. You just have your targets and exit. That's it. 10, 12 points, whatever. You do it with size and then grab. As for selling, once it turns down, PCR trend is turning down, you can again just sell over here, and stop goes above the swing high. Again, this you have to grab and exit. Put will be exactly opposite. This definitely is subjective. This definitely is subjective. Can't help. Somebody wanted me to, I got a message asking me to talk about futures OI scan. Let me go through this. OI scan is, this is basically used to identify scripts that are moving right now in the market during intraday. What I would do is, I have explained this in the group also. So suppose you decide based on your trend identification, you have checked the option chain, you have checked your total C difference, and you have identified that the trend is positive for today. Then you go and enter long build up over here in today's section, and then you hit enter. So it filters out scripts that are not long build up over here. And then you, in the 60-minute section, you go enter long build up and do this. So now you have filtered scripts. You have got a few scripts. Of course, this will keep changing, but it will take time. I mean, it will not change fast. So you can rely on these trends for some time. So now the list you have got here are bullish scripts. So what you can do is you can take a look and see which ones are currently. This is here short buildup in 15 minutes and short buildup in 30 minutes. So basically the trend in today's section and 60 minutes is strong. It is up. And there is one more thing. You need to again filter price also. Just say here greater than 1%. Greater than 1%. So you want significant long buildup. You don't want like 0.05% and all that. So here you have the scripts, and then whatever here show red, those are currently in pullback. So it is a pullback in uptrend kind of a situation here. So this is long buildup here, long buildup here. Price has strongly moved up for the day, but temporarily in 15 and 30-minute section, there is a pullback happening. You can go through the other stocks also. You can take a look at the charts and see. But here, this clearly indicates for this is in short buildup. So BHEL currently it is strongly up for the day, but currently last 15 to 30 minutes it is down. So maybe it could be an entry. You can take a look at the chart and then decide. So this is how you use futures OI scale. This is basically a filtering tool. So you intraday you can filter and shortlist stocks. Whether you are trading just cash, even if it is cash, you can filter the stocks here and then go to your trading terminal and look at cash charts and then trade on cash. Or futures, you want to trade options, spreads, basically intraday, you can do that also. So filtering stocks here that are moving right now in the market, you can do it using this tool. Options OI breakup. Similar to futures OI breakup, again, the key thing is the very important thing is to see where price is with respect to VWAP. Basically, just you need to just take a look at the color over here, and then decide based on that where it is with respect to VWAP. But you have to be very careful. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you anything like how we can take a trade using this, because if you see, it's all jumping all over the place. You can go to 15 minutes and then you would get sort of small trends over here. So you can probably look at which side the buildup is happening, and then you can do it based on that. But I would just use this, just monitor this a little bit, but don't rely on this too much, because it's very difficult to take entries directly on this. Scalpers use this a lot for scalping. It is useful then, but then you need to be on a lower time frame, and then you also need to look at other things. So I would strongly suggest to stick to total piece UI, and then just go for price versus OI, and then just enter using that. One other thing that you can this options OI breakup is used for is if you're trading a straddle, and then say this is the straddle that you're trading, then probably adjustments you could probably do this using it. Whenever now this is hitting a new low, so you make sure that you have more quantity, you have shorted this, and if you see this as at this point, this has actually turned up, and it is going up above VWAP, and it has even hit a new high. So you make sure you either exit this and then go to a different option, or then you just lighten this up and then maybe sell more of this. So adjustments you can probably do using this if you're trading a straddle. So that is one thing you can use this for. Yeah, somebody had asked me in the chat about volatility skew. It's a little bit advanced. This is again for a positioning of your trades. See this, let me turn one expiry off. This is basically nothing but these are volatilities. This axis here shows volatility, and these are strikes here. So here you are just viewing these are volatilities of these strikes versus volatility. This is out of the money. For example, if you're looking at put, now this left part here, out of the money puts over here, and right part here is in the money. So you see that out of the money puts, the volatility is really high, and the volatility as you go near the money, around at the money, volatilities are very less, and then again deeper into the money, volatilities again are higher. Same for calls. Calls, this is out of the money. So again, the volatilities are going to be higher out of the money, and then again lower when you are near the money. And then again, as you go deep in the money, the volatility again goes higher. So basically, this is used to enter ratio spreads. So you are trying to see where high volatilities are there, and then you short those options, and then where volatility is less, you buy those options. That is one. Then for diagonals, you also take far expiries, diagonals and calendars. So you see that the near term, this is near expiry, 11th Feb expiry, and this is the monthly expiry. So if you see near term expiries, out of the money options are more expensive. So you would be shorting near the money and then buying out of the money, and again near the month. You'll be buying further month or monthly options. And monthly options also you would stick to near the money basically, and then and 11th Feb you would go for near expiry. You would be shorting slightly out of the money options. So positioning you can do using these basically ratios, ratio calendars, ratio diagonals, unbalanced ones, and all that kind of trades. So explaining trades using this is a big, I mean, it's a very, those trades are very highly technical, deeper. Probably I'll get someone who can, who actually a trader suggested this tool, a top trader. So I'll try and get few examples from him, and then I'll probably share. But basically, that's the basic idea. You try to position yourselves. You see where higher volatilities are, and then you short those options. And then where lower volatilities are, you buy those options because they tend to be less expensive, inexpensive. Let me see the chat. Someone was asking something. Understood. Used for Nifty 50 and Bank Nifty scalp. See about scalping. Our data is delayed by a minute. So for scalping, you just stick to real-time data, real-time charts, and all that. You can't do scalping with our tools. And you can. Our tools are excellent for doing analysis. So initial analysis, there are excellent tools that we have provided. You can use that, but you can't do scalping. You can do trades that are slightly longer term. I mean, longer term in the sense even intraday. If you're planning to hold for the day, you're taking a trade in the morning, and then you'll probably hold it for a few hours. You adjust and then probably exit in the afternoon or maybe just before close. So those kind of trades you can do, because then you can do good analysis with our tools. But scalping, no, you'll need faster tools. You just need to stick to real-time charts. Hedging, how to identify which stock can do hedging with futures trading. See, for hedging, the main thing to identify, you need to stay with momentum. So you buy a stock that is moving up. So stocks that are moving up. We don't have end of the day tools yet. We are building all these one or two tools that we have shown. CEP, OI difference also, and also OI scan. We are coming out with EOD versions, so you can see what is happening to PE versus CE, OI difference in the last few days. So that will help you identify stocks that are where OI is pushing it up or down. So for those, once you identify those stocks, then you can just buy futures and then hedge probably, or you can buy it in cash and then do selling calls against it, or then hedging, or whatever you want to do, you can do. But for hedging, you need to actually do end of the day analysis where you hold stocks. If EOD is what you're asking about, I'm not sure about your exact question. If it is just within the day, then I mean, you can use the same analysis that we are doing, whether it is you're buying calls or you're buying future and then shorting calls against it. Doesn't matter if it is intraday. Let me check other questions. Stocks. I've already answered. Chirag has asked if there is any plan to include option strategy payoff. We are building it. It's just taking time because our office was closed. We couldn't hire people, so we are in the process of hiring. So we'll speed up the development, and payoff charts will, and strategy builder we'll release it as early as possible. We'll give it out for beta testing maybe in a couple of weeks. We'll try and do it. Let me see. Someone had posted in private charts, green line. Yeah, price versus OI. The green line is VWAP. Yes, we call it ATP. We have labeled it as ATP, but it is basically VWAP. Any other questions? Okay, let me go through tools. These are all OI based analysis. IVHV chart again, whatever I explained to you in terms of the IVR IVP scan is what the similar analysis is used. Basically, here what you look at is where IV is in relation to. Yeah, Rahul, I'll just give me a minute. I'll tell you about EUD 1 minute. Yeah, so you need to look at when you're positionally trading, you need to look at where IV is with respect to historical volatility, HV. So here, whenever IV is, this green line is above this yellow and red, then it is a good time to initiate option selling strategies, selling straddles, triangles and all that. But once this green line, the IV falls below these lines. Now, at the moment, that is what is happening. So it's a good time to actually go for calendars, diagonals kind of a strategy, the long Vega strategy, because the volatility may be exploding. So there is a currently volatility is exploding. So that is what this it was indicating basically. So the green line, when it falls down, that is when you need to be in long Vega trades. And when green line is above, so these points, that is when you can go for short volatility strategies. This is what it is used for. Similar IVR IVP charts also are for the same. Again, you're trying to see where how low volatility is. If you see whenever it is too low, then you have to be careful. You have to expect that it will explode, and the volatility may explode. So whenever IVR IVP is low, you have to be careful. Again, IVR and IVP, just you have to use it together. I mean, if this is low and IVP is very high, in this case over here, IVR was very low, but IVP was still high. You have to wait till they both are close by. So this is where then volatility-based strategies have to be, long volatility-based strategies have to be used. Yeah, for naked buyer, price versus OI is one tool for actual entries, and cumulative OI. Again, cumulative OI is what you should have open in the morning, since from the morning itself, because that is where your trend is going to be decided. So you use that, you use cumulative OI change and price versus OI together. You decide on the trend over here using this. You decide on the trend using this, and then you switch to price versus OI, and then actually take entries, trade entries. You use these together. Always use this and this together. Cumulative OI change. Determine the trend here or using option chain, and then take entries and using price versus OI. Let me get the questions. 1 minute. Just a minute. How to identify stocks with momentum? Positional trading on stock options. How to identify them? See, positional. Futures OI scan is one where I had explained how to identify momentum stocks. and you will need UD based scan that we'll be releasing that soon. So based on that, you need to see how OI has moved for the last few days, and only then you can take for positions on positional options on stocks or index or anything. You need to see for the last few days how OI is behaving and how price is behaving. Based on that, you can probably take. But currently, you can do limited analysis using futures OI scan, but EOD based OI scan is needed. That will release that soon. Can you show? There was another question. Can you show the cumulative OI change and difference in OI? This is what I had discussed at the start. I'll go through that again, but let me go to Straddles. I'll go back to this cumulative OI change and difference in OI later. I'll do that again. Let me go to other tools now because I need to go to strategies. Straddle charts. Straddle charts. I have a webinar. I mean, there's not nothing different that I do. I just still do the same. The time frame is what you need to decide. See, I use this Keltner channels 50, 3, exponential. So basically 53 and exponential. This channel, as long as this line is within the channel or below that, then you are fine. You can sell this straddle. And as soon as it is going up, then it is time to adjust or do whatever. Of course, you don't do this in 1 minute. For intraday, I have 3 minutes or 5 minutes. You can take. You can still reduce this also to 21 for intraday. Positional, I take. You can even experiment with 20. Even this is fine. The only thing you need to keep in mind is this should not go above this channel. So as long as it is going down, then you can short this. So better explanation, I can do that over here. So this is the basic thing. You can look at my detailed webinar that I had done on whether it is strangles or straddles. This is what I do. Basically, you initiate it over here. So you, I think Bank Nifty was somewhere around 361 in the morning. So you wouldn't initiate over here. You would look for straddles that are breaking down and then get into those, and then your stop basically would be above this, somewhere above this. Stop or your adjustments or whatever. Sorry, excuse me. I had 2 lots here. Should be here. So you would enter on breaking down over here, and then this would be your adjustment points. So adjustments, you would of course if you're trading intraday, then you would look at excuse me, 1 minute. Yeah, you would also look at you would be monitoring option charts if you think some option is breaking out, like probably here call was breaking out if I'm not wrong. And then you would either add one more over here, and then once you add 2 lots over, change it to 2 lots here, again the structure has become the way you want. It is going down. So you would stay in this trade itself. So you could do these sort of adjustments. I've explained this in the Straddles webinar in detail. So this is still what I do. This is one way you can do it for intraday also. At some point, if You can just go back to one, or if the trend changes, if put has started to fall, then you can probably add more puts here, and you can. The basic idea is to get your straddle in this form so that it is going down and it is below this higher band. That is very important. Whether you're trading positionals, whether you're trading intraday, it's the same. It's the same. The only thing, if it is for positionals, let me go to the monthly charts. FT. You would just use something like this. Adjustment points are over here and here. The idea would be to get it below, and it has to be below this. That is how you have to adjust it. Let me take a look at the question. For buying straddles, yeah, I mean, I don't do it, but that is how you can, again, as long as it is above this band, then you can buy, and then just get out over here or adjust. Similar, but so I don't buy straddle, so difficult for me to tell you that. But I would suggest go through my video on straddles and strangles, because I have explained in detail about the adjustments. But it's similar basically. The idea is to keep the straddle price within this or below this band. So below this band, whenever it closes above this band, that is the time to adjust. Basically, you just change the strikes, and then you get it below the band, and then you continue with the trade. So whatever strike, so suppose we had initiated this, and then it goes over here, closes above this, then basically you would either maybe short extra 2 lots and get it this way. So this is how it should look. If it is looking this way, then you are fine. This trade is fine. Straddle Triangle video is on our YouTube channel. You can go to our YouTube channel from our help menu. Just go to this video or any of these videos, and from there YouTube just click on our iCharts India name, and then go to all our videos. In that video, Straddle Triangle, it is there. Video is there. So the idea is to get the structure of the chart in this form. This is how it should come to. Whether it is intraday, whether it is positional, whatever, it has to be in this format. If you are short straddle, long it is exactly above. You need price above this. But then I don't do long triangles, so I've not experimented also, so I don't want to say anything about it. Short straddles, I do this a lot. I do it in actually, can you show? I do it in iron Condor format. For iron Condors, let me take you to the same example. Just a second. Sorry. Just taking one approximate example. In case of iron Condor, the aim is completely opposite to straddles, because you have hedges. Then the idea is to keep the price above this band. Whenever it comes below this band, you adjust. Let me give one historical chart example. That would be probably better. Let us take 4th February. I'll take an example so I can explain you better. Let's say 4th February example, February expiry example. Say suppose now for 4th February expiry, we are over here. 28 Jan is the previous expiry. So over here at the end of the expiry, probably just before market close, we are initiating where about 15 minutes before expiry at the price is around 30,400 is Bank Nifty. 30,400. I would stick with 500. So above 30,400 would be say 37. I'm just taking a rough example. 31,000. I will go with 31,500. 30,000. 29.5. Say that 3 lots. 3 lot example. So we are initiating this on what 28th evening. 28th evening is somewhere over here. So at this point, I would initiate. So this is above this band. Currently, this is above this band. So for iron condors, you have to keep it above this band. At this point, you would adjust. 29th, what has happened? Market is up in the afternoon. So basically, what you would do is market is up. So basically, put strike. I would take it up a little bit and check. So since market has moved up, this is where we initiated. This is, of course, we will be in loss. MTM currently, it will be in loss at the moment. So at this point, I would take this about 300 points up and then check. Before you take the bid, you just check it on the charts over here. 29th afternoon over here. This is again, the trade comes back in this position after making this adjustment. We were at 30,000. We have just closed that 30,000. Basically, we have booked profit on the 30,000 put strike, and then we have gone up. We have taken this up. So we are here right now. Again, you need to adjust here. 1st February at 1 o'clock. 1st February, 1 o'clock. This is probably the worst trade I've because market moved up and the premiums were crazy, so it will go really bad. But let us see. And this somewhere over here, you have adjustment. 1 o'clock, yeah, somewhere over here, you're getting the edge. So it is, market is around 32,000 almost. So basically, it has gone above this, outside this whole range. At this point, what you can just take profit on this, and there's probably go aggressively, just take it to this strike and just see. After you are over here. Basically, after that, if you see, it is flattened out, but the price keeps going up. Price keeps going up after that. So you can adjust it if you wish, because here after this adjustment, the third adjustment, you're at least not looking at the loss definitely. Of course, you are in MTM loss, but then you can take it up. Either you can take both of these up, or you can take this up, because the price has gone way above this. Either you close, you take loss, and then that's it. You say that's it, or you just keep going up. Say you can take this to 31.3 if you want. This now will be more like a debit trade. still up, you take a look at the charts and then you decide. Basically, you're doing this inverted. It has gone inverted. So loss is not there, but then you need to check if you want to keep the position open or if you want to take it further. You can even move this. The idea is to keep this line above the band. This particular example is not good because the premiums have gone so crazy. The market has gone so far above where we initiated. The trade itself doesn't make sense. But then here, once after 3 adjustments, the risk is gone in this. Basically, it just can't drop out over here and then give you a big loss. So this is the way you are to adjust. If you just backtest, go to other expiries and see, you once you do these adjustments from that on, after 2-3 adjustments, you don't need to do any more adjustments. You can just book profit. Even in this case, probably it comes from 1000 to 200, 300. This is like, it doesn't look much, but it is 200, 300 points over here. So I don't know, maybe you can get out at break even or some MTM loss, I'm not sure. It will not be, it is definitely far more better than trading straddles directly, because then in straddles, there were absolutely no adjustments you could have done and come out safely using this kind of a method. You would have to aggressively adjust and then probably with hedges and all that and do whatever, I don't know. But this, yes, you can. I've used this a lot in the last 1.5 year and Condor trades. The idea here again is to keep this above the band, and for just straddles, it is below the band. That's the thing to remember. Straddle combo charts is another one. If you remember, Jitendra Jain had posted one strategy using these. So basically what he said was, you initiate after market open, you initiate three straddles. Where this is at the money and this is out of the money, this is in the money. So nearby straddles, after say market opens and 15 minutes after that, you open these straddles, and then you either adjust based on VWAP and all that. You can use this straddle charts plus. That is what he had said. Yes, if I remember. So basically, he would whatever breaks out. If 3 straddles are open, again you have to take the same ones. Sorry, that's 900 and yeah, 8, 9. The 3 minutes or whatever. Let me go to 3 minutes. Yeah, so when you initiate, you have to make sure that, I mean, this is not the case, because this is being initiated based on this current price. But you would initiate if market is at whatever price in the morning, and so that you would keep as a center strike, and then these two, the next hour, one out of the money, one in the money. And then you start monitoring the individual straddles, and whichever one breaks out, you close that and you carry the 2 other ones. Basically, that is what he had said. He called it the triple straddle method. So this you could do just using these straddle plus charts. Actually, you open and then just monitor from here. from here, actually, what you could do is you could do even adjustments. Like, let me see where Nifty opened. Yeah, getting all 4 charts is basically it's a tool. See, strategies, straddle charts plus. That is a tool where you get these 4 charts. These 3 are straddles, and this one is futures chart. So you go to strategies, straddle charts plus. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, Nifty opened around what, say 15 minutes after that. Where are we? Yeah, 14.9 is the right one. 14.9 is the right. 14.9 is the right one for. But if you see, I would probably not take this because this will be outside the band. So what you can do is you can take this a bit further.
आज आता हिशोबात जोरदार झोप येते, बाहेर घेऊन आलो मी झोपायच्या तयारीत आहे.
Kindly mute, please.
किती 6च्या नंतर का? 6च्या नंतर? हा चालेल. हा.
Yeah, you could take this. 9:30, we are over somewhere over here. You could take this. Once
कॉल करणार
at
का
this
मला कोणी?
place, 1 minute.
ठीक आहे. 6च्या नंतर 6चा दे ना, चालेल. 6 सव्वा 6चा. सव्वा 6चा. हा. 2च आहेत ना?
Just a minute. Yeah. So this point, once it breaks out above this, you would adjust. I mean, you have to adjust again. You would have to change these strikes over here. The idea would be to keep the straddle combo in this band. I would not do this for intraday, but this is a good strategy for positional. You would just have to adjust these strikes and then make sure that the line is within this band or below this band. You could do that for positional. For intraday, you could use this. Jitendra Jain had explained in one of his Twitter posts about this. Any questions you have about this? Anybody? Can unmute and ask if you wish. Just tell me. Let me check. In Keltner channel, 1 minute. Lower band will work as support per bands. Yeah, Mr. Gulam Patel. Yeah, it is supposed to work as support, but yeah, I mean, basically here we are just using it as a reference point, just to make sure that straddle is within certain parameters. If the straddle is going above the bandwidth, then we think that it has moved significantly because Keltner channel is it's based on ATR, and then if it is moving beyond certain prices, moving beyond the band, then it means it has significantly moved, and then we assume that it will keep moving. So we have to either adjust or we get out. So I'm not using the bands here as support or resistance, but as reference points to indicate that it has moved significantly. The straddle has moved significantly. Yeah, Pani, we recorded presentation. I'll try and put it. It's Mr. Kivira is saying it's taking a lot of our time every day from shifting one chart to other. Ideally, we should have future chart along with all other charts as default, like we have OI. Future chart, with all other charts as default, like we have OI and PCR charts. I didn't understand, Mr. Rao. Can you explain? You want the future charts with what? Just send me a message. I'll probably clarify. I'll tell you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, any other questions, or we can wind up?
One question I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask one question?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Could you please, explain that, total PE, OI, stuff, how to interpret that?
Oh yeah, I had explained this. You didn't join from the beginning?
No. I joined a bit late actually. If you don't mind, could you please repeat it quickly?
Can you go through the recording, because it will be a repeat? But
Okay, no problem.
Let me quickly.
Where can we get the recording, Srikanth?
Yeah. I'm recording this, so I'll put it on YouTube. I'll do that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this briefly, I'll just go through it. What I said is the most important thing is this column, the diff PCY change. So that is the most important column you need to look at, but don't rely only on this. But this is important. If you're looking at this, then this look at the color of this column, and that is the direction you should be thinking on. And then the next important thing is to look at the trend of this column. This trend tells you what is happening in this column internally, like if it is strengthening or weakening. Here it says it is negative, and then it's further weakening over here. And here these tell you that this negative trend is it is weakening, and then it may be going to the upside, but of course it didn't happen. So that is what this is. This column is important. But what I said is this should be used in along with other things also, because you need to take a look at the price also. So this is negative, and then the price also is below VWAP. This light colored red thing on price says that it is below VWAP, and this green indicates it is above VWAP. So this is red and this is red. You are fine if you are short. So I'm not saying take entries using this, but this is a clear indication that the price is going down, and that the Y also is down. This is going down. But also, I said cumulative OI. Just a minute. You keep an eye on this also, and especially in this. This is important. This is very important. Along with this was indicating completely red over here, but in this case, cumulative OI was clearly indicating that morning. This particular blue line is the PCR trend. It was indicating whenever this is going up, that means that it is bullish. So it was indicating this as the bullish part, and it rolled over from here. From here, it is negative now. The trend is negative. So now at this point, that is around 10:45 or so, over here, it is now really turning negative. Things are really turning negative, because then this Y is saying that it is negative, or this also is indicating it is negative, and then this also has clearly indicated it is negative. Now here, price has gone above VWAP, and this is that place. Here temporarily it's gone up and then sideways. So this particular, that is why I say this particular chart is very important, because this will tell you this flat area tells you that there is a lot of indecision, even though here it is price is above VWAP. So you can't say that the price is now going to go up and that it is all bullish, because over here this is clearly indicating it is negative, and then this cumulative OI change also is saying that it is just there is no decision over here. So it is flat, and then it continues down. Once it breaks down, this blue line breaks down again below. The PCR trend is basically PCR trend turning down is nothing but either put writers are unwinding, and or call writers are building their position. So they are adding. So a lot of call short buildup has been happening. So that's why this is going down. So it is bearish. So use this ideas along with cumulative OI change, and then analyze this particular blue line. Don't go against this blue line, because this gives you a sum total of what the OI is doing in the market. You don't have to just keep analyzing, figure out, see what is the OI change is doing, and all kinds of stuff. And this is all confusing. Of course, this gives you a quick idea, but then this will give you the whole summary, and then you can more or less rely on this. Many had asked us to put a VWAP on this. We'll be doing that very soon. And then a lot more great changes are coming to this tool. We'll be adding a lot more of such options like trending OI and all that. So this will improve, this tool will improve a lot. There are a lot we are going to do on this tool, which will make it a lot more effective. So.
Great, a great insight. And by the way, what is the significance of the OI trend change in that CEPE? If I want to look at it.
Yeah, this is nothing but these values are difference of these values, two values. Now here, if you see, this is going from -11 to -9. So 2 lakhs has increased. So basically, so 2 lakhs positive side it has increased. This OI change trend just tells you whether this is strengthening or weakening. So here it is all very much negative, but this tells you that like positively the 2 lakh OI has got added on the put side. So basically it is all either calls have lightened up or puts have returned more. Whatever it is, then 2 lakh OI has gone to the positive side. So that is what this indicates. Again, here from it, over here, it goes from -9 to -21. So -12 lakh quantity has gone to the negative side. So that means either calls have shorted or put writers have lightened up, unwound. So it tells you what is happening internally in this basically. So whether this is strengthening or weakening, you can gauge by using the OI change trend. So here, all this over here, all this part is strengthening, slight strengthening. That is why then this has also turned like positive over here, and this price also has turned positive. It is all due to this positive OI that has got added. But of course, it was not effective enough to turn the whole scenario around. But then this gives you idea. Over here, once this 4 lakh got added, all this got finished, all this got negated, because then again this went to again heavily on negative side. But it was mostly on negative side only. Nothing changed over here. That is what this was indicating.
Great. The other question regarding that, the strategist, you just explained about the straddle chart. So the Keltner one is above the band, and probably we can initiate the buy triangle. Am I right? Below that, short.
Yeah, right? That's right. I mean, yeah. Basically, so whenever if it goes above, then you should be either long, you should be out of short straddle or you long straddle if you trade longs. As long as it is above, you're fine. So once this goes below, then you should be out of long straddle and you should be in short straddle.
Okay. So where is the strangle one here? I mean,
strangle is just you need to just change the strikes. Say if I go to 35.5 and this, so this is a strangle now, 200 point wide strangle. This is a strangle. That's it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks a lot for your continuous support as well in the group.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So one last question. So you were talking about Jitendra Jain's link on Twitter. So which day and which video is it, sir? I'm sorry. Yeah. If you can tell me, I'll have a look at it.
I'll have to search for it. I try and search.
Will you put it in the group, sir? Will you put it in the Telegram group so that we'll pick it up from there?
Sure, I'll do that. I'll put it in the strategies. It is already there in the strategies group. I'll just find and I'll repost it again.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
I'll do that. Yeah. So let us wind down now. If there are any other questions, another 5-10 minutes I can be here. So let me know. Otherwise, we can wind down. We can do this again if you want next week.
So one thing, how to make this one as a mobile friendly, if I want to, look at that, price versus OI chart?
Yeah, price versus OI chart. What is going to happen is, yeah, you'll be only able to look at one chart on mobile. The other chart will be below this. That you can do.
Okay.
Have you checked that?
Okay.
You can try on mobile. You can still look at this on mobile, but the only thing is that this right side chart will go below this chart. But you can still use it. Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, how often do you do these webinars, sir?
I need to do this often. Actually, I'm trying to do this every week. I'm fine with it. If you just request in the group, I'll just do it every week, no problem. But I'm doing this after a long gap because we have been busy. Actually, lots of things were on our mind, so it's just busy.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, if you post a request anytime, yeah, we can do this on the weekend. Should be a 1 or 2 hours should be fine. I can do it.
Sir, a quick question. Could you please show us the preview of new version of iCharts, if you do have right now?
Sorry, which one? I didn't hear which.
I mean, new version. You were saying like new features were getting added.
Oh, that is on another our test server. I can't do that over here. Strategy builder that is being built. A strategy builder is under development, so I am working with the developer. I'm actively involved in that, and there are lots of other tools like scans and all that we need to do. There are EOD based scans that are being worked on because currently many have complained that we are all positioning, we are all our tools are only for intraday trading and there's nothing on positional side. So on that side, we are doing a few scans. So at the end of the day, what is happening to OI? So last few days, how OI is moving. So actually buying stocks or buying futures and hedging, that will be a lot more easier. So those kind of things. So we are building on that also. All those tools are there, but they're not in a position where I can show those to you. And they are on another server, so I can't access that here. The internal server.
That's okay, no problem.
But we'll make it available as soon as the beta versions are there. So we'll first release those in the beta version because we can't just directly release. So we'll give it for testing to subscribers. So you can test, come back to us with your suggestions. We'll iterate and we'll add, fix those features. We'll add more features and finally release when you're satisfied. So we'll do that. So next 1 2 weeks, we'll try and release the initial versions.
Sir, one question. Can I see the straddles, Bank Nifty side by side? Is there any option or 2 windows I have to open?
Yeah, currently 2 windows. That also is a feature that many have asked, and we were experimenting with some grid-based dashboard kind of a thing, but that has, since the resources are not there, we have not been able to complete it. So currently, you can do that only using Vivaldi browser has a tile feature. So you can, with that, you can do it. But
what is
you
one?
can't.
Can you repeat?
There is a browser called as Vivaldi. It's a Chrome-based browser.
Okay.
In the option tools group, you can search for a hash Vivaldi. You will get all those posts, all examples, how to actually do it.
Great.
So in that, you can have side by side even 4 charts, all different scripts, straddles, and spreads. You can view that in the Vivaldi browser. You can set it up that way.
Got it. In this chart, what is the significance of that below indicator in the prices versus OI chart?
It is.
So
it is IV actually. It is IV. It is smooth IV. Basically, where you just to keep an eye on what is happening with IV. That's it. So if you are a seller, then IV is going up suddenly. So if this price is falling over here and then the price is going up, then you avoid shorting calls basically, because then it can get tricky. So just to keep an eye on IV, that's it. What is happening with IV? It's a smooth IV, 10 period moving average, 10-minute moving average.
Understand.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, is there any detailed documentation? Because there are several tools, and it would be helping us much better if we can go through this documentation. try to understand the
There
website and the
is,
tools and features much more better.
yeah, we've just not been able to do it. We have recently, we are trying to take help of someone to build a video-based documentation in detail. But because I was not getting time to record videos, so but it is still not ready. I mean, just these few detailed videos are there, but we're going to add for all tools. So it is not added, but let me see what I can do. Because we're discussing with someone about this, but there is no currently. There's nothing. But for some tools, like say IVR, IVP scan or so, if there is this button, you can take a look at this button. So it gives you detailed explanation of IVR, IVP. So wherever you find this I button, so go through that. So we have explained as much as we can about the tool and how to use and all that. It is not there for all, so I'll try and get it added for as many. For this also, like what the colors mean and all that. So we have explained it here.
Okay.
So this is, yeah. This is the
And
documentation.
yeah, thank you. And for this OI versus the price, so
Yeah.
can we set like a different time intervals? You mentioned in the group that it's possible.
No, here it is not. Oh, that what I was saying is for futures and options. Futures chart, options chart, you can, because that is the interactive chart where you can change. This is basically a plain image chart. So for a futures chart, you can, where you can, since you said OI, because you can add the OI indicator here, and then you can use time frame over here. That you can do.
Okay,
Here
not
also.
in this chart. Okay.
Yeah, this you can do. This is what I was referring to. But price versus OI, no, because yeah, we are not given intervals as such. This is all 1 minute chart. We can probably do that, but that will come as part of enhancement later. But yeah, that is going to take time. There's no currently there's
Okay.
no plan.
Yeah, and along with the OIs, because even the Greeks play a major role, which I was asking. You said like
Yeah,
there is no still timeline, but
yeah,
that will be really helpful to understand like how the Greeks are
yes,
playing against this price and also the OI.
yeah. Greeks, yeah, we need to do that. Yeah, many have, very few people have actually suggested it, but we have noted that, and we need to do it. I'm not sure when. Again, another complication for that is we do not have historical Greek intraday data. We have end of the day Greeks, but we don't have intraday minute to minute Greeks. So that will be building that historical data also, and then we need to enable it in the tools. We need to build tools for doing that. So a plan is there. I'm in the process of hiring a few developers so we can speed up everything. So at some point we'll do that. The reason why I could not give a timeline is because I don't know when we'll start working on it. Once we start working on that, I can post some update about it. So probably by
Okay.
end of this month, we may start working on that, at least rebuilding historical data and all that.
One
Okay.
question
Thank you very
is
much.
that, one question is that, delta chart, can we get any delta chart when how it is
It'll be the
moving
same.
from, 0.5?
Yeah, same Greeks. He's talking about the same thing. The person was just asking
Oh,
about it.
okay.
So
Okay.
it's the same.
Okay. Yeah.
We have data, intraday data. It's just that we don't have a tool. And then again, history we don't have it. So intraday, we'll try and do something about this. We have recently received a few requests about this. So we'll work on this. We'll provide Greek charts soon. We'll do it. Okay. So let's close for the day. Then we'll again come back to this in the future. If there is anything next week, we can again conduct. You can think and you can compile questions. You can just post requests in the group if you want a webinar to be done on a weekend. So I'll do it. Okay. Thanks a lot,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.